I spent my entire life building a future for my son. I worked overtime. I skipped vacations. I sold my dreams so he could chase his. Then one morning, I logged into my bank account. Balance, $0. Before I could understand what had happened, my phone rang. It was my son. He laughed and said, Dad, my wedding is tomorrow. I withdrew every dollar from your account, and I already sold your house. Good luck. For a few seconds, I couldn't breathe. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I simply hung up, made one phone call, and waited for the wedding day. What happened next left over 300 wedding guests completely speechless, and my son learned a lesson he'll never forget. People always say a father's love is unconditional. I believe that with every part of my heart. My name is Daniel. I'm 66 years old. For 40 years, I worked as a commercial contractor. Long days, cold mornings, broken backs, missed birthdays, late nights. Every sacrifice had one purpose. My son, Ethan, when his mother passed away, he was only 12. From that day on, I became both father and mother. I cooked, I cleaned, I attended every football game. I paid for college. When he wanted a new car, I bought one. When he wanted to start a business, I invested everything I had. Every time he failed, I rescued him. People warned me, you're giving him too much. I ignored them. He deserves another chance. Years passed. His business failed. He blamed his partners. Another failed. He blamed the economy. A third failed. He blamed everyone except himself. Still, I kept believing. Then one day Ethan announced he was getting married. I was genuinely happy. Maybe marriage would finally mature him. He asked me to help pay for the wedding. I agreed. I transferred thousands of dollars over several months. Flowers, venue, photographer, luxury hotel, everything. Then, the morning before the wedding arrived, I woke up early, made coffee, opened my banking app. I thought it was a technical error. Balance, 0. Every savings account, empty. Retirement account, closed. Investment account, liquidated. My hands started shaking. Then my phone rang. Ethan, I answered. His voice sounded strangely cheerful. Morning, Dad. Ethan, something happened to my accounts. I know. What? I emptied them. Silence. I also finalized the sale of your house. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. What are you talking about? You always said everything would eventually be mine, so I just took it early. I need the money. The wedding is expensive. We're moving to California anyway. You'll figure something out. Then he laughed. Good luck, Dad. Click. The line went dead. I sat there, completely numb. Then something inside me changed. For the first time in decades, I stopped protecting him. Instead of calling him back, I called someone else. A lawyer, then my banker, then a private investigator. Within hours, everything became clear. Months earlier, Ethan had convinced me to sign several documents. He claimed they were insurance updates. In reality, he had slipped legal authorization forms into the paperwork. He gained temporary access to several financial accounts. He also manipulated me into signing documents related to my property. The investigator smiled. Your son thinks he's very clever. But he made one fatal mistake. Because the house had never legally transferred ownership, the sale contained forged information. The bureau had already reported irregularities. Everything was frozen. The bank accounts, also frozen. Large suspicious withdrawals triggered fraud investigations. The money hadn't actually disappeared. It was sitting in escrow, waiting for court approval. And that approval was never coming. The lawyer looked at me. If you're ready, we can stop everything. I nodded. The next morning, the wedding venue sparkled with luxury. Hundreds of guests filled the ballroom. Everyone admired the decorations. The music started. The bride smiled. Ethan stood proudly at the altar. Then, the ballroom doors opened. Not for another guest. For two investigators. A bank representative, my attorney, and me. The music stopped. Everyone turned. Ethan's smile disappeared instantly. Dad. I calmly walked toward him. The officiant stepped aside. My attorney handed Ethan several documents. What is this? Fraud investigation. His face turned white. The house sale has been canceled. The funds have been frozen. The financial authorizations are revoked. And criminal charges are under review. The bride stared at him. What are they talking about? He couldn't answer. His future father-in-law demanded an explanation. Guests started whispering. Someone pulled out a phone. Within minutes, the celebration became complete chaos. The bride walked away. Her parents followed. The photographer stopped taking wedding pictures. The DJ shut off the music. Caterers stood frozen. No one celebrated. Everyone simply watched Ethan standing alone. For the first time in his life, no one rescued him. He begged. He apologized. He cried. But consequences had finally arrived. Months later, the court returned every dollar. The fraudulent paperwork was voided. My house remained mine. Ethan accepted a legal settlement instead of a lengthy criminal trial. He was ordered to repay investigation costs and lost everything he thought he had won. Years passed. One afternoon, he knocked on my door. He looked older, humbler, different. I'm sorry. Real tears filled his eyes. Not because he lost the money, but because he finally understood what he had destroyed. Trust, respect, family. I forgave him. Forgiveness doesn't erase betrayal, but carrying hatred forever only destroys the victim. Today, our relationship is slowly rebuilding. One honest conversation at a time. He works, pays his own bills, lives responsibly. No shortcuts, no lies. Sometimes, the greatest gift a parent can give isn't money. It's allowing their children to face the consequences of their own choices. Because responsibility creates the kind of character that wealth never can. And that's the lesson both of us learn it the hard way. If someone betrays your kindness, don't answer with revenge driven by anger. Answer with truth. Answer with patience. And let justice do what emotions never can. Because money can be stolen. Houses can be sold. But integrity can never be taken from the people who refuse to surrender it. If this story touched your heart, remember one thing. Never mistake kindness for weakness. The quietest person in the room often has the strongest final move.